What if I told you I could prove that you and everyone you know are four-dimensional beings? Not in some science fiction way, but in the most real, fundamental sense possible. We all know the three dimensions of space: length, width, and height. But there's another dimension just as essential: time. Without it, nothing could happen. Stars couldn't form, planets couldn't move, you couldn't take a single breath. Time is the thread that stitches every moment of existence together, just as vital to reality as the space you occupy. In fact, without time, the 3D world we see wouldn't even be able to exist. It would be frozen, locked forever like a statue with no life. Time isn't just a background detail, it's the fourth dimension, the one that makes the universe possible. The first dimension is the simplest, just a line. Imagine a single string stretched tight, extending infinitely in both directions. It has only one property: length. No width, no depth, nothing else. Add one more direction, and now you have the second dimension, a flat plane, like the surface of a sheet of paper. It has both length and width, so you can draw shapes like triangles and squares, but everything is still completely flat, no thickness, no way to step off the page. Then comes the third dimension, the world we're most familiar with. This is where depth enters the picture. Suddenly, those flat shapes can expand into forms like cubes, pyramids, or spheres. It's the space we live in, where you can move not only forward and sideways, but also up and down. The jump from 1 to 2 to 3 dimensions transforms the way reality itself can exist. The important thing to understand is that the first and second dimensions don't actually exist in the physical universe. They are not real things you can go out and find. They're purely theoretical constructs. A true one-dimensional line, with length but no thickness at all, cannot exist in reality. Even the sharpest laser beam, even the edge of a razor, has some width, some depth, so it's automatically three-dimensional. The same is true for the second dimension. We can draw something that looks flat, like a square on paper or an image on a screen, but the paper and the pixels still exist in three-dimensional space. A perfect two-dimensional plane is impossible to find in nature. These first two dimensions are ideas, mathematical simplifications, not physical realities. The first real physical dimension begins with the third, because only in 3 dimensions can matter, energy, and the universe as we know it actually exist. So now that we've nailed down the first 3 dimensions, let's step into the strange, almost ungraspable territory of the fourth. In 3-dimensional space, we can describe exactly where something is: its height, its width, its depth. That gives us a perfect map of an object's position in the universe, but only at one instant. Think of it like taking a single picture with a camera. That snapshot can capture every detail of the scene, the objects, their shapes, their distances from one another, but it can never tell you what happened a second earlier or a second later. It's frozen, locked, incomplete. But the universe is not frozen. Reality is never just a still image. Things move, they change, they evolve. Stars explode, planets orbit, people are born and grow older. Even you, right now, are not the same person you were a moment ago. Billions of particles inside you have shifted. Tiny chemical reactions have fired in your brain, and the Earth itself has spun slightly beneath your feet. The first 3 dimensions can describe where all of this happens, but they fall completely silent on the question of when. And that's why the fourth dimension exists. The fourth dimension is time. It is not some optional add-on to the universe, but a fundamental axis just as important as length, width, and height. Without it, motion is impossible. Change is impossible. Existence as we understand it is impossible. You could build an entire 3-dimensional model of the solar system, showing exactly where every planet is in perfect detail. But if you don't add time, that model will never show the planets moving in orbit. It will be a dead, frozen structure. Time is the missing piece that transforms static geometry into living reality. Here's a way to make it a bit more tangible. Imagine you're meeting someone at an apartment building. To get there, they give you a street, an avenue, and a floor. That's 3 numbers, the coordinates you need in 3D space. But if you show up at the wrong time, it doesn't matter. You'll miss them entirely. To actually meet, you need a 4th number, the exact time. This is the 4th dimension in action. Just as much as the first 3 numbers tell you where to be, the 4th number tells you when to be there. Without it, the meeting could never happen. This is why scientists don't just talk about space anymore. They talk about space-time. Einstein showed us that space and time are inseparably woven into a single fabric, and you can't fully describe the universe without both. Move through space, and you inevitably move through time. Bend space, and you bend time along with it. They are not separate realities, but one unified thing. Now that we've established time as the fourth dimension, the natural question is, what would it mean to be a four-dimensional being? Most people imagine 4D beings as creatures who can freely jump backward or forward through time, like living time machines. But that's not really what being four-dimensional means. That's like saying we could teleport instantly anywhere in three-dimensional space just because we exist in 3 dimensions. Dimensions don't grant powers to break their rules. They define how we exist within reality. Being a 4D being doesn't mean skipping around time. It means that just like we exist and move through 3-dimensional space, we also move through time in the 4th dimension. Every moment of your life, every action, every thought, all unfolds along the time axis. Your present moment moving forward just as naturally as your body moves through height, width, and depth. You experience time continuously in a flow, not as an all-at-once panorama. Think of it like walking down a hallway. You don't suddenly appear at the end, you move forward step by step. The 4th dimension is the hallway, and your present moment is your position in it. Just as you can move freely along the 3 axes of space, you are naturally carried along the time axis, experiencing your life in real time. That's what makes us fundamentally 4-dimensional beings. Our existence is inseparable from time, and time is inseparable from our experience. Here's a simple analogy. Imagine someone gives you an address for a meeting in a huge apartment complex. Street, avenue, floor, and now add a meeting time. Those first 3 numbers describe where to go in space, but without the 4th, time, you won't meet anyone. You exist in 4 dimensions, 3 spatial, 1 temporal. You don't get to skip ahead or linger behind. You experience the meeting in the now, just like everything else in your life unfolds along the time axis. In short, being a 4D being doesn't give you magical control over time. It's simply the recognition that you are a 4-dimensional entity, moving through space and moving through time, moment by moment, experiencing your present as it flows naturally forward, inseparable from the universe around you. To truly exist in the universe, an object needs all 4 dimensions. 3 dimensions alone, length, width, and height, can tell you where something is in space, but they can't explain its motion, its growth, or its change. A rock, for instance, may have a position and a shape in 3-dimensional space, but if it doesn't move through time, it doesn't interact, it doesn't age, it doesn't collide with anything. Without the 4th dimension, objects would be frozen, eternal snapshots, incapable of change or life. Time is not optional. It is a fundamental requirement for existence, the axis that allows motion, causality, and the unfolding of events. Similarly, space alone cannot exist without time. An event, no matter how small, requires both a location and a moment. A tree growing, a planet orbiting, even a thought forming in your mind, all of these occur in space and time. The universe as we know it is a dynamic, ever-evolving system, and that dynamism only arises when all 4 dimensions are present. Height, width, depth, and time are inseparable. Their interplay is what creates reality. Without any one of them, nothing could happen, nothing could interact, nothing could truly exist. To be, you must occupy space and move through time. The 4th dimension is not just an add-on, it is as essential as the 3 we see and touch. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that every moment of your life, every place you occupy, and every action you take is proof that you are a 4-dimensional being. You are not just a 3-dimensional object moving through a static world. You are a dynamic entity, inseparably intertwined with the flow of time itself. The 3 dimensions of space tell you where you are, and the 4th dimension, time, tells you when. Together, they create the stage on which all of reality unfolds. Without any one of these 4 dimensions, nothing could exist, nothing could change, nothing could even be. You are living proof that the universe is fundamentally 4-dimensional. Think about it. Every star, every planet, every life, including yours, is moving through space and time, bound together in a single elegant fabric. The universe isn't just a backdrop for existence, it is an active, unfolding structure, and you are part of it, moment by moment. Realizing this doesn't just expand your understanding of reality, it transforms it. You're not just in the universe, you are the universe in motion. Space, time, and your experience are inseparable, and that's what makes you and everything around you a true four-dimensional being. If this video helped you grasp the fourth dimension in a way that makes sense, and maybe even gave you something cool to explain to your friends, then I'd love for you to like and subscribe. Your support helps me make more videos that dive deep into mind-bending concepts like this. Also, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment with any questions you have about the fourth dimension, space-time, or any other cosmic mysteries. I'd love to explore these ideas in even greater depth and break them down in ways that are clear, fun, and thought-provoking. Your curiosity is what keeps these videos going, so don't be shy. Let's keep unraveling the universe together. And always, stay curious, creative, and ambitious.